Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Hi. Hello, this is Darren.
Department of Family and Protective Services versus Ali Wilson and Cody Castro. Let me first call for Ali Wilson. Is Ms. Wilson present? Ali Wilson. Ali Wilson. Ali Wilson. I do not see that name. I do not hear an answer, nor is anyone presently in the waiting room. Next, Cody Castro. Cody Castro. Cody Castro. All right.
Judge, I made every attempt. I went to the motel. I knocked on the door. I think somebody was in there. I made every attempt to contact, but I also sent text messages and have had no response from Cody Castro.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. McNeely.
Judge, on that note, I represent the children, and same for me. I've got no responses from voicemails, calls, text messages to the only phone number I have, which is for the father. And I went to the hotel too, and no one responded. So I would be requesting a reset so that I can keep trying.
All right. Thank you, Mrs. Iverson. Let me see, Ms. Dick, have the respondents been served in this matter?
I believe they have, Your Honor. I do have return of services for each one.
For Ms. Wilson and Mr. Castro? Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes, they've both been served.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Ms. Dick, who is your worker on this case? I'm wondering if they've heard from the parents, whether they expect.
Mr. Collison, Joshua Collison.
Yes, sir. I have not heard from the parents. I also attempted early March to go up to the motel. I could hear people in there, but no one opened the door for me either.
All right. Thank you. And as far as you know, the children are with the parents or a parent?
Correct. Sure. All three children are with the parents.
Okay. And are the parents living together?
Yes, sir. They're living. Last I met with them, they were both living in the motel.
All right. Thank you. And Ms. Dick, did the citation include the Zoom login information?
Let me double check.
Thank you. All right.
It did honor the complete Zoom information, however, was not on the citation.
All right. I believe we have Mr. Castro in the waiting room, whom I'm admitting right now to connect to audio. Good morning. Is Ali Wilson and Cody Castro?
Yes.
All right. Thank you all very much for being here. This is Judge Lockwood. We were just calling your case. The court has provisionally appointed attorneys to represent you all. My understanding is you may not have had an opportunity to meet with them, nor they with you. So what I'm going to do, Mr. McNeely and Ms. Trousdale, is since the respondents are on the same device, I'm going to place the four of you in a breakout room where you can meet virtually, but privately and confidentially as to the four of you. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So stand by, please. You'll need to keep a watch on your screen. You may need to press a button or touch it to accept an invitation. 3, Department of Family Protective Services versus Brittany Mooney and Darren Mooney. So, sir, you are Darren Mooney, is that correct?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right, thank you. And Brittany Mooney, calling for Brittany Mooney if she can respond. Brittany Mooney.
You got to respond.
Take mine off.
You got to log back in.
Take mine off.
All right, if she can, you all can share devices.
Come on, here, share.
Your Honor, there is a protective order in place currently that Ms. Mooney is not to be around Mr. Mooney or the children.
All right, and so you are Brittany Mooney?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And are you all aware of the protective order that the prosecutor just referenced?
Yes, sir.
So the protective order
Stand by, Mr. Mooney. I'm going to let you visit with your attorney. Ms. Mooney, you can continue what you were doing.
Okay.
We're going to excuse you from sharing the device there. Okay. Ms. Moore?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, I would like to place you in a breakout room with Ms. Mooney.
Okay, Judge. I can tell you, I don't know if it matters or not, that because Miss Wheeler is in a trial and not able to be here, and I believe she still needs to do some visiting with her client, we are asking for a reset today. I don't know if that will make a difference, but I'll be happy to go into a breakout room to go over things with Ms. Mooney.
I'm going to do that, and then I'll take up any request for a reset. I believe Ms. Iverson is standing in for Ms. Purdue Wheeler, and it might very well be in order to ask for that continuance. So if you will stand by.
Mooney's device dropped off because she just entered into a program called the Ada House in Galveston. So they took her phone from her.
All right, Mr. Mooney, thank you. Ms. Iverson?
Yes, sir.
Shall I place you and Mr. Mooney in a breakout room?
Sir.
Did you say yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Mooney, stand by, please. 207, Ms. Iverson, I brought you back into the main session. And Mr. McNeely and Ms. Trousdale, and we have Ms. Wilson and Mr. Castro. So let me take announcements. Ms. Dick, is the department ready?
The department is ready, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And Ms. Trousdale?
No, Your Honor.
Yes.
I'd like this at this time. I'd like to ask for a continuance, but for it to be set as soon as possible.
All right, and the basis for the request?
Judge, I need some more time to visit with my client about possibility of participating and whether or not she needs these services. But also, Judge, they are in the process of moving, and I want to get all that situated and give Ms. Iverson, the attorney ad litem for the children, has not had an opportunity to visit with these kids. I would like for her to visit with my client as well as the kids before we move forward.
All right, Ms. Trousdale, thank you. Mr. McNeely, your announcement.
I would ask for continuance also, Judge.
For much of the same reason.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
And Your Honor, the department objects to the request for a continuance from either the mother's attorney or the father's attorney. They had notification. We have been in contact with them on a regular basis. They know what we're asking them to comply with.
Ms. Dick, let me hear from Ms. Iverson, and then we'll go back to the department. Ms. Iverson?
Yes, Judge, obviously, I would request a continuance as well, and also that it be reset as soon as possible. But if you could please make it very clear to the parents that I have to see these kids and I need for them to communicate with me in order to do so. Whether that's through their attorneys or what as it may be.
All right, and is there a PCSP in place?
No, Your Honor, and we'd like to, as the department, have an opportunity to meet with the children as well.
And Ms. Dick, what services is the department asking me to order in this case?
Your Honor, the department is asking for, in order for the parents to allow access to the residence, in order for the parents to allow access to the children, in order for the parents to work services through family-based safety services, in order for the parents to have a drug and alcohol assessment treatment provided by a provider that deals with addiction treatment and follow all recommendations provided by the counselor, and also to have a parenting psychosocial assessment to follow all recommendations, and in order for the parents to participate in random drug testing, including hair follicle and urinalysis. The baby is just 3 months old at this point, and we have grave concerns for the safety of the children.
And Judge, my client doesn't object to an order for the department or the items to have access to the children, to the child, and we don't object to a drug test at this time if that helps the court, but I would object to an order for any services at this time.
If possible, we would also like in order to see the residents, their concerns of just a close proximity of all the family in one place and possible drug use. They're grave concerns.
You're speaking of other family members who live in proximity to
The children. No, I'm sorry. The children, the older children and the baby, they've been living in a one-room hotel room. And they have not allowed us to see the residents.
And Ms. Trousdale, is this morning the first time that you and Mr. McNeely have had an opportunity to meet with your clients?
Yes, sir. They don't have a phone. We've connected to them now through email, but they haven't had access to their phone.
And Mr. McNeely, is your client, like the mother, apparently willing to submit to a drug test today?
Yes, you are, but don't have any transportation. It would have to go to them.
All right. And I think
they said they're right across the street from the drug testing facility. It's within walking distance.
Okay.
That's correct. And they have been the entire time we have been asking.
Ms. Trousdale, I interjected the word today on my own, so I don't know that was initially what you offered, but that's
yes,
what
sir.
Would consider.
That's what I told her to expect. She said she would not have a problem getting there when we talked about transportation. So,
and Your Honor, we would need a urinalysis and a hair follicle.
And Ms. Trousdale, is your client amenable in agreement to a hair follicle and a urinalysis?
Judge, we talked about a urinalysis.
Mr. McNeely, same question.
I don't think that my client would want to do a hair follicle.
And Judge, if I can have a second with my client.
Well, let me ask you all if, and this is Ms. Iverson, Ms. Trousdale, Mr. McNeely, Ms. Dick, if you all are available either this Thursday morning or this Thursday afternoon, and if there's an agreement to hear this virtually. Now, were I to reset it, even that soon, for the safety of the children, I will order today urinalyses on both parents, and for the safety of the children, I will order access to the residence, whatever it might be, and to all three of the children by the department and Ms. Iverson, and I will order that to occur today. Now, unless you can't live with that, we're going to have the hearing right now.
Judge, I spoke to my client and don't object, and I don't know that she has a problem with a hair follicle, but I would like for this to be reset, do the UA, give Ms. Iverson and the department immediate access to these children, and reset it for Thursday. I'm available Thursday afternoon. I am mediating that morning.
Okay.
And I believe my client is in agreement with all that as well.
Okay, I will defer the issue of hair follicles to Thursday afternoon. I'll order your analyses today, access to the home children today for the department and for Iverson.
Your Honor, I'm not sure that my client's going to be able to agree. I need to confer with my client for a moment.
You may. Do you need a breakout room or?
Sure, thank you.
Okay, so
Judge, I have to be in Montgomery County at 1:30 on Thursday.
okay, how many cases do you have there?
Just one. Just one.
Okay, Ms. Dick, do you need a breakout room with Mr.
I do need a breakout room, Your Honor.
Robinson?
Thank you.
With whom?
With Ms. Garzario, Mr. Collison, and Ms. Adams.
Okay, stand by. And, Mr. Castro, if you'll remove your cap as we're in court, please, sir. All right, Mr. Castro, as we're in court, if you'll remove your cap, please, sir. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I did not hear you.
Okay.
I was on mute. I didn't realize.
Okay, if you'll remove your cap as we're in court.
I'm so sorry.
Fine.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you. Any updated announcements, Ms. Dick?
Yes, Your Honor. The department wants to go forward today, if at all possible. This case has been open since December, and we have been trying to get the parents to cooperate with us. And the hair follicle is an essential issue in this case.
Have the parents submitted at all to hair follicles or any drug testing?
The mother and the father both submitted to urinalysis. The fathers came back, they could not determine there was an issue.
Don't
All right.
tell me.
Okay,
Don't tell me.
and the hair follicles, they have refused to submit to hair follicles.
Were the parents to agree or the court to order hair follicles today, would you agree that we probably would not have results by Thursday afternoon?
I would agree with that, Your Honor.
Ms. Trousdale and Mr. McNeely, would you all be available as early as 1 o'clock Thursday?
Judge, I believe I can be available by then.
Now, is there an agreement, Ms. Trousdale, Mr. McNeely, Ms. Dick, of course, and Ms. Iverson, that this hearing be virtual?
Yes, sir, but Judge, I still have to be in Montgomery County at 1:30 in person.
Yes, Your Honor, we can agree to a virtual.
Ms. Iverson, do you believe that you might be in a position to from somewhere in Montgomery County, maybe even the courthouse, to log in virtually as early as 1?
Sure, I can do, or earlier than that, but I'll have to go a little before 1:30.
Right. And certainly you would be free also to file any report after you've been able to meet with the children. We may just need to somehow kind of navigate that 1:30 setting in Montgomery County.
Okay.
Do you know whether that's contested there?
I don't yet.
Okay. Ms. Dick and Mr. McNeely, you all are available virtually at 1 o'clock Thursday. And I know the department's not in agreement to the reset.
Yes, I am available at 1 p.m. The department is available.
All right. Okay. Ms. Trousdale and Mr. McNeely, I think I'm going to take a few moments to place you all back in the breakout room with your clients and go over with them the possibility of my ordering a hair follicles today.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you all will stand by.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Trousdale, did you
And
not
Judge, I represent the kids on that one.
Okay, all right. So did you not get an invitation to breakout room number 4?
Judge, I don't think so. I'm on my phone. Sorry.
Okay.
We didn't get one either, sir.
Okay, all right. Stand by for that, and Mr. McNeely as well. So Ms. Dick, having heard the previous announcements, is the department in agreement with resetting this case?
Your Honor, we're not in agreement with resetting. However, we also need to challenge Mr. Mooney's indigence at this time.
All right, we will do that before any hearing, and we can. And Ms. Iverson, you were able to visit with Mr. Mooney?
Yes, sir. Not enough. There are a lot of moving parts here.
And Judge,
I came in with no information almost. Well, Judge.
Right, and you're standing in for Ms. Purdue-Wheeler. Go ahead, Ms. Trousdale.
Judge, I was going to say, I would not object to a continuance. I did visit with Mr. Mooney and the children this weekend, and I would be comfortable with a continuance because Ms. Wheeler's not present, and if he does not qualify for an attorney, he's going to need time to get one. So, I mean, I'm comfortable after visiting with them for about an hour this weekend, but I'm also prepared to go forward. The only thing I would say is, Judge, my child has a doctor's appointment this morning in about 30 minutes, and that'll take about 20 minutes of my time probably.
Okay.
The department does have some concern as to who else is caring for the children while Mr. Mooney is at work.
Okay, so stand by with that announcement from Ms. Trousdale. Ms. Trousdale, I'm going to let you go into breakout room number 4.
Thank you, Judge.
With Mr. Castro, Ms. Wilson, and Mr. McNeely.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. 193, the Mooney matter. Ms. Iverson, do you agree that Mr. Mooney would not qualify for court-appointed attorney?
Judge, I don't have that information. What little time we had to speak, we didn't really discuss those kinds of things. There was way more to talk about.
Okay, all right. So the department seems to have reason to believe that he does not, and Ms. Trousdale does not believe he does. So let me swear in Mr. Mooney. Mr. Mooney, I'm going to inquire into your finances and eligibility for a court-appointed attorney. So let me get you to raise your right hand to be sworn. All right, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
So Mr. Mooney, you may put your hand out. Thank you. You do have a right to an attorney in this case. If you cannot afford one, if you're found to be indigent for that purpose, the court will appoint an attorney to you. The appointment of Ms. Purdue-Wheeler has been provisional to this point. The law requires that you demonstrate any indigence or inability to hire an attorney prior to the beginning of this hearing. Can you afford an attorney?
So, Your Honor, 2 years ago when this basically started, when almost 2 years. Right now, Your Honor, I don't have the ability to. I've been trying to, but this has cost me a lot of money with dealing with my wife and
just answer my question.
I don't have.
Mr. Mooney. Mr. Mooney.
Yeah, no, sir, I don't.
Okay. Well, are you currently employed?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay.
I've been with the same employer for 8 years.
Okay. And do you work part-time or full-time?
Definitely full time.
All right. And how much do you bring home a month?
It varies. I'm 100% commission. So with all this going on, it's been a lot less. I'm not able to dedicate the same time that I can to the job. So I would say right now, maybe take home, so net. Is that what you're asking, Your Honor?
I am at this point.
Okay, maybe $5,000 a month.
Okay. And do you have money in the bank savings account, checking account?
I do not anymore, no, sir.
Do you own any property?
So my mortgage. Yes, sir.
All right.
So technically,
how much are your monthly expenses? Mortgage, cars, payments, phone, food, utilities, and the like.
More than 5,000.
How much?
Just my mortgage. My mortgage is 3,000. I've got 2 vehicles. I've got oh my gosh, at least probably 9,000 is my monthly expenses. I mean, I need to look and be that I've got a lot. It's definitely more than what I'm bringing home.
And your testimony is that you do not have any money in the bank.
That is correct, sir.
And do you have any money on hand on your person, your home, or the like?
Yeah, I have $80 in my pocket.
All right, Ms. Iverson, did you have a question for Mr. Mooney?
The only thing that we did have an opportunity, the only thing that came up about finances at all was that he's also paying for the criminal attorney for his wife, and it's substantial. He's been hit with all these things at the same time through no fault of his own. While on paper a few months ago he may have looked like he wasn't indigent, I think the situation has changed drastically.
Okay. Do you have any questions of Mr. Mooney regarding any indigence?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Mooney, how many people are you supporting at this time?
I pay child support for a 24-year-old still, and just interest that the principal is been taken care of. But I got about 18,000 in interest that I'm paying on for him, and then I've got my 2 sons and my wife, and that's it's 4 or 5.
And your wife doesn't work, correct?
Right.
Doesn't have a job. Okay. And
yes, ma'am. That's true.
Okay. And you just dropped her off at a residential treatment center today, correct?
Yes, ma'am. The Ada House in Galveston.
Okay. And did you have to pay for that? Are you going to have to pay for that?
No, she was able to do it on her own. Where to my knowledge, right now, I don't have to pay anything except for just her whatever she might get to have.
Okay. And whether she's successfully discharged or unsuccessfully, she won't be living with you, correct? There's a protective order in place.
Right, until it's supposed to be being worked on to be lifted,
okay.
But I can't.
Please just stick to answering specifically the question I asked you, okay?
Yes, ma'am. No, until it's with it in place.
What did I just say? Please stick to answering exactly the specific question that I asked you and nothing more, okay?
I'm trying. Yes, I apologize.
Okay. And I object to the non-responsive portion, Judge.
Sustained.
So when she gets out, she won't have a job. Will you be having to pay for her living situation in addition to yours and your children?
Yes, ma'am.
And you and I discussed that you're having to come up with a great deal of money to pay a criminal attorney on your wife's behalf. Do you have that money right now?
I don't. I don't.
And how much do you know how much you're expected to come up with?
Oh, it's going to be a lot. I don't know the exact figure. I don't.
Nothing further, Judge.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Dick.
Mr. Mooney,
Yes.
do you have childcare expenses at this time?
At this time, I don't have childcare expenses. No.
Who is taking care of the children?
So they go to school, Monday through Friday, and my job is more than willing. They know how much those kids mean to me, and they're more than willing to do anything I need to be off. I'm allowed to make my own schedule. However, it's if not being there, I don't get paid as much, but I am allowed to make my own schedule, and they're willing to let me off whenever.
Objector calls for narrative.
Well, sustained.
So you are arranging to be with the children after school?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right, no further questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Mooney, did your wife apply for a court-appointed attorney in her criminal matter?
No, not yet, because I don't really understand the whole system there. But she's from Chambers County, and I guess it takes a while, she says, to get into the court docket or have a court date. So, to my knowledge, she hasn't, but she hasn't been living with me, so I'm not sure. I just know one attorney from doing business with him. He's like mutually, what I do, he's declined.
Objection non-responsive. Mr. Mooney, please stick to the question. Answer only the question you're asked, please.
Sustained.
Sorry.
All right. Any other questions, Ms. Iverson or Ms. Dick?
No. Not at this time, Your Honor.
Mr. Mooney, have you filed your
Yes.
taxes for last year yet?
No, sir, I have not.
What do you expect your income to show?
My W-2 is this year just short of $100,000, so it was less than half of what the year before was.
Okay. Any other questions from anyone for Mr. Mooney? All right. At this time, based on the evidence, the court is unable to find Mr. Mooney indigent for the purposes of a court-appointed attorney and attorney ad litem in this case. So, Mr. Mooney, I'm going to reset the case, give you some time to hire counsel to appear with you at the next setting. So stand by.
Okay.
The court will discharge Ms. Pardue-Wheeler and all right, I've closed out the other breakout room, so stand by, please. All right, so on the Mooney matter, Ms. Trousdale, you are back in.
Yes.
The court has found that Mr. Mooney does not qualify for the appointment of counsel in this case. I'm going to give Mr. Mooney some time to hire an attorney. I'm going to reset this matter to April the 1st. April the 1st, it will be in person. April the 1st at 9 a.m. All right, so Ms. Trousdale and Mr. McNeely, are your clients amenable to submitting to hair follicles in addition to your analyses today?
Great. Judge, I would ask, my client does not object.
On for both of us on that issue.
Mr. McNeely, hold on just a moment. I'm hearing from Ms. Trousdale, and then we'll get to you.
Judge, I would ask again for a continuance for more time to visit with my client. I believe there's a paternal grandmother who will be in the picture very soon. I'd like to talk to her because she can provide support for this family. They're trying to move. They have no support here, financial support. And so I would like to, an opportunity to talk to her. Again, my client doesn't object to a UA today. And definitely giving the ad litem and the department immediate access to these children. She doesn't have a problem with that either. We would like for the department to keep in mind that they are trying to move, and if this family member is appropriate, then we would like to work with them and help our clients get in a better position financially for these kids. And I think that family member can participate in a hearing with just a little bit of notice.
The grandparent whom you mentioned?
Yes, sir. I think she was going to try to join today and could not.
Okay, well.
But I have not had a chance to visit with her.
Okay, what is her name?
Miranda Castro.
Okay, all right. I don't see that name.
I'm getting all the information from my client, and we were cut out of the room, but I'll get back with him somehow if I have to drive over there and get her contact information so we can get her in the picture.
Okay, stand by. And Ms. Dick, I know that the department is not in agreement with a continuance, a reset in this matter, but are you available at 2 on Thursday, March the 21st?
Yes, Your Honor, we are available at 2 on March 21st.
And are you still in agreement with this hearing being virtual?
We are in agreement to it being virtual.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And Ms. Trousdale, same questions.
Yes, sir. I'm available, and I do not object to it being virtual.
All right. Thank you. And Mr. McNeely, same questions. And you're muted, Mr. McNeely.
Yes, I am available, and I do not object to a virtual.
All right. Okay. Thank you. And Ms. Iverson. And we'll do our best to work around your 1:30 setting in Conroe.
Yes, sir. And no, I never object to virtual.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. All right. With that, the court will hereby reset to continue this motion to participate, cause number 24DC2, Thursday, March the 21st at 2 p.m. This hearing by agreement will be held virtually, and that in pursuant to Texas Government Code 24.017 and 74.094. The court will enter interim temporary orders for the safety of the children, namely that the department and the attorney ad litem for the children have access to the children themselves and the children's residence. The court also hereby orders Allie Wilson and Cody Castro, respondents, to submit to your analyses by the end of testing today. The court will take under advisement the request for hair follicles and will take that up when we come back on Thursday at 2 p.m. Thank you. Ms. Iverson, it sounds like you're on the road.
I'm sorry, I thought it was on mute. I am, Judge. I'm done. So we're good on time.
Okay, very good. Well, be careful. I know what the weather's like in Conroe today.
It's not ready.
Judge, I do have a mediation at 2:30. It's just to get signatures. That's it. But I can maybe do it separately. I don't know.
Okay. Well, we'll see. There have been some late events that have occurred. Ms. Adams, we are here on the motion to participate in Department of Family and Protective Services versus Allie Wilson and Cody Castro. I was made aware of the department's filing a petition for removal of the children. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. And so what are you looking to do with this hearing today?
Well, Your Honor, as we are allowed to ask for an ex parte hearing on removal, but we have the people, if we have everyone here, I thought it would be much more appropriate to address potentially the removal, not the complete adversary hearing. I understand that, but have essentially the ex parte hearing with the other parties, which is an ex parte, but I think you understand my meaning.
Yes. And so that certainly is appropriate and even statutory, since we're all aware that the parents do have attorneys. Ms. Trousdale and Ms. Iverson, I believe we're still waiting for Mr. McNeely. No, Mr. McNeely's here. So let me ask if everyone, well, does anyone have a copy of the affidavit at this point?
I have a copy, Judge, but I just got it, and Miss Adams did send it to me, but it was within the hour, I think.
It was, I'm not even sure that the clerk's office has accepted it yet. I sent it to all of the parties at about 1 o'clock.
I just now received it.
Okay, very good. So that's well, you all might have gotten it before me. But I have seen it, I have reviewed it, have read it. Why don't we take Ms. Iverson, have you seen it?
No, sir.
Okay, so let's make sure Ms. Iverson sees it. I think
We also don't have the parents here, Judge.
no, we don't. So let me go ahead and call for them, though I don't see them. No one's presently in the waiting room. So calling for Allie Wilson. And next, respondent Father Cody Castro. Cody Castro. All right, it is 2:04. Our motion to participate that was continued until 2 o'clock today. It's now 2:04. There was an agreement, announcement, understanding that this would be a virtual hearing, and the court will note that neither parent is present today at this point.
Your Honor, I believe Ms. Wilson is calling our office because the link provided to her was not working.
Okay, so, all right, thank you. Ms. Trousdale, I don't know if you can maybe resend that link to Ms. Wilson if you have her contact.
I have her email, Judge. I'll try again.
Okay, thank you. I believe they were on the same device when we were in court last, and I don't recall whether it was his or hers or theirs, but maybe Mr. McNeely, if you can forward that information to your client as well.
Yes, Your Honor.
And once that's done, what I plan to do is hold on the motion to participate, recess for 10, 15 minutes if you need it, for you all to review the affidavit in support of the petition for removal, and then come back and basically do a quasi ex parte. Any objections to that?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
All right, thank you. Okay, I have a fire tablet. Thank you. I have a fire tablet and a Jonna Wilson in the waiting room, whom I'm giving.
Yes.
Wilson. Okay, and is that Mr. Castro with you there?
Yes, sir.
All right, very good. Again, Mr. Castro, if I could get you to take off your cap.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Sir, I'm going to let you all, I have marked you present. I'll let you all go back to mute. And attorneys, if and when you need a breakout room with your clients, let me know. I'll set those up so you can meet with them virtually, but privately and confidentially. All right, so Ms. Iverson, have you received the affidavit of removal?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, very good.
And Judge, I would like to meet with my client. I think Mr. McNeely and I could probably meet with them together along with Ms. Wilson.
Okay, all right, very good.
Judge,
Mr. McNeely, yes, stand by. We're waiting on Ms. Trousdale.
well, that's what I was going to tell you. She's switching to her iPhone.
Very
and
good.
She'll be back in just a minute. But she and I both have a joint request.
All right. Okay. Very good. So, Mr. McNeely, just a moment ago indicated that you all might have a joint request of the court.
We would like to request that Mrs. Iverson be put in a breakout room with the parties.
Okay. I'm hoping that 5 minutes will suffice.
I'm hoping so. She can obtain valuable information, and she can get. I think it's necessary, and I guess they can make it 5 minutes.
All right. So, who all would be in that breakout room? Your client?
My client, Allison's client, the two grandmothers, and I guess that's it. And the baby. I think they're holding the baby. So.
Okay, I will place you all in a breakout room, and I'll give you all 5 minutes once everyone.
Not this is Ms. Iverson. We don't want to be in there. We just want Ms. Iverson to talk to them.
And
Well, if there's particular information that you guys want communicated to me, I would think you guys could guide that, and it would be quicker.
Yeah, Mike, I think we should go in there.
Okay, very good. Stand by. All right, I believe I see all of the attorneys and all of the parties back. We are holding on the department's motion to participate. The court is considering the department's affidavit in support of removal. Same parties, same children, has allowed time for the attorneys to review said affidavit, to meet with their clients, and also to meet with, I believe, both grandmothers and Ms. Iverson, the attorney ad litem for the children. All right, so any announcements from anyone before we go into the what I've called the quasi ex parte hearing?
Yes, sir. I'd like to announce not ready. I did not know until we were put in the breakout room 5 minutes ago that both grandmothers are actually here present in Texas, that they have that their backgrounds are clear, that they're ready to respectively take the children, different babies, the baby with one, the other children with another. I've never spoken to them. I've still never met my clients. I cannot make a recommendation other than that I be given more time to do so. So I'm not ready.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Iverson.
Oh, Judge, sorry. May I add to that? I went out to the motel again, and again, nobody answered the door, and I could hear the newborn. I could hear people moving around. So I've tried again to get access to my clients, even after you ordered it, and have not been able to do that.
All right. Thank you. Okay, this will not be a full-blown hearing. The court has examined and reviewed Mr. Collison's affidavit in support of removal. Thank you. And you are the affiant in the affidavit in support of removal in the Castro-Wilson Proctor matter. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. Since the writing of your affidavit, have the parents drug tested for you?
No, Your Honor.
All right. And since our last hearing in this matter, which was earlier in this week, have the parents allowed you reasonable and sufficient access to the children and where the children are living?
To the children, yes, Your Honor, and to the new room they are currently in.
Okay. All right. Have you done background checks on Ms. Castro and/or Ms. Wilson, Jonna Wilson?
Are you referring to the grandparents, Your Honor?
Yes.
I have not.
Have you been to either the maternal grandmother, Ms. Wilson's home, or the paternal grandmother, Ms. Castro's home?
No, Your Honor.
Have you spoken to the parents regarding any parental child safety placement during the time you've worked with the family?
No, Your Honor.
And when you saw the youngest child, EC, how did he appear to you?
He was observed clean and healthy as far as I could notice, sir.
All right, you broke up at the top. Did you say
Okay.
clean?
Yes, sir. I observed him to be clean and normal, healthy.
Okay. And what about the middle child, CW?
Yes, sir. Also observed clean and healthy.
Okay. And the oldest child, SP?
Clean and healthy also, Your Honor.
Were you able to determine whether either of the school-age children were enrolled in school?
No, Your Honor.
No, they weren't, or no, you didn't?
No, Your Honor. I did not able to verify if the children were in any type of schooling.
Okay. Did you ask the parents whether they were?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what did the parents tell you?
They were not in school due to not having the right certificates, but were in homeschool.
All right. Did the parents present you with any homeschool work, curricula, anything like that?
No, Your Honor.
Do you have all of the necessary information for the grandmothers to do a quick background CPS and criminal kind of threshold background check on those, on the grandmothers?
No, Your Honor. I would have to retrieve that from the grandparents.
All right. We'll go around. I'll give the attorneys an opportunity to ask a question of Mr. Collison. Ms. Adams?
Have you spoken to either of these grandparents?
Shortly, yes, ma'am.
Okay, tell me who you spoke to.
I've spoken majority with Lorena Castro.
Okay, and what were those conversations in regards to?
The kids' well-being and the safety and their cooperation.
Okay, and what did she tell you?
During the conversation, she told me that the parents
Judge, I'm going to object to say, and Judge, I'm going to object to hearsay unless the grandmother's going to be available to testify, but I'm not sure because of the type of hearing that you're going to allow her to testify.
Okay, sustained.
Did any of her, whatever she said, did any of her responses concern you that she would be a potential placement?
Yeah.
Okay. Not what she said, but what about she said concerned you?
Her view on a controlled substance.
And Judge, I'm going to, never mind. I'm sorry.
Her view of a very specific controlled substance?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Did you also have a communication with her? The communication you had with her regarding which the timing of you going to see the motel room, was that also with her?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And did you feel like you were misled at that time?
Yes,
ma'am. Objection.
It's prejudiced impression.
All right. How quickly would you be able to run a CPS history and the preliminary, really quick histories on both of these grandmothers?
With the right information, probably about 15, 30 minutes.
Okay, pass the witness.
All right, thank you. So you've only met with Ms. Castro, and that only briefly, correct? Not Ms. Wilson, Jonna Wilson.
I've only spoken over the phone to the paternal grandmother, and I believe I met the maternal grandmother once at the door.
The door of the
to the room to the residence, Your Honor. The parents were not there.
Okay. All right. Okay. Attorneys, do you all have the grandmother's respective information that would be sufficient to do this background check?
Judge, I don't even have a phone number, and I didn't know the maternal grandmother's name until just now. I don't have any information whatsoever.
Oh, I have the phone number and the email. I don't have her social, but she can give it to him.
Okay, I'm going to place all of you attorneys, grandmothers, parents, back into a breakout room for just a couple of minutes. So, Mr. Collison, what all do you need? Full names, dates of birth, driver's license. Do you need social security numbers?
Yes, Your Honor. I need all that information.
And addresses?
Yes.
Okay, anything else?
I believe I might need a little bit more information on one of them. She does not live in the state of Texas.
Neither one of them live in the state of Texas.
Neither one of them live in the state of Texas.
Okay.
And they're both paternal grandparents, Judge.
Okay, they're both paternal grandparents. Neither one of them lives in the state of Texas. Is that correct?
Both of those grandparents live in California, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well,
one's a registered nurse and one's a flight attendant.
Okay. Well, then that's not going to work at this point. Because we would need ICPCs for that. Okay. Ms. Adams, did you pass the witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So before we get to Ms. Trousdale, Mr. Collison, have the parents given you any other potential names for placement? Fictive kin, any family members who reside in the state?
I believe the only name I was given was Miss Wilson's maternal grandmother, Jennifer, who lives nearby.
Who was what?
A Jennifer, the maternal grandparent to Miss Wilson.
Okay, was that the one mentioned in the affidavit regarding WIC?
No, sir. That's the maternal grandparent.
Castro. All right. Okay. Okay. Ms. Trousdale, any questions of Mr. Collison? Question.
Yes, Judge, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay. Yes, did you state that you did not, you've never met with Miss Wilson either in person or over the phone? Jonna Wilson, the paternal grandmother of the two older children.
I have never met Miss Jonna Wilson, correct.
Have either of these parents expressed to you a desire to have these children, that it was their intent to move the children to California or have the children placed with these grandparents?
The information I retrieved was they were leaving to California.
Did you request the information for these grandparents?
I was speaking to the grandparent they were speaking to, correct, but I helped communication.
Okay. And when is the last time you saw the room that my client's staying in?
When we finished the first court hearing on this past Monday.
Okay, so just real quick, earlier when you were testifying that you saw the children and you didn't have concerns, that was in reference to Monday, correct?
That they were healthy and clean.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. McNeely, any question of Mr. Collison?
Mr. Collins, isn't it true that, well, let me rephrase that. Were you at a dinner meeting with Jonna Wilson present anytime in the last few months?
No.
Are you aware of such a meeting?
No.
No or yes?
No. I was not aware of no meeting.
Okay. Can you tell the court when you first came into knowledge of contact information on Lena Castro?
I believe it was in end of January, beginning of February.
Okay. Can you explain to the judge why none of that information was given on Monday at the first hearing?
I was not spoken to.
You were what?
I was not spoken to during that hearing.
My point being is it's a fact that according to everything that I'm aware of, that there's been no interaction with either one of these grandparents concerning taking these children. Is that correct?
I was unaware of one grandparent, and I was given information on another one, but the family stopped communicating with me, so I could not gather more information.
I pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Iverson?
Yes, sir. Did the grandmothers have your contact information? Did you give that to them?
One grandmother did after I called her.
And she didn't reach out to you after that?
She reached out.
Okay. How many times? In what way?
To get information on the case, the hearing, and to set an appointment time to meet with the family after the first initial court hearing.
How long have you been a caseworker or involved with the department?
I've been a caseworker for just over a year.
In your experience in that role, when grandparents want to get involved, are they usually very accessible and contacting you a lot and present and contacting the attorneys, etc.?
Objection leading.
Overruled. You may answer.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
In your experience, when grandparents are wanting to be involved and wanting to take their grandchildren, are they usually very communicative with everybody, the attorneys, the caseworker, present?
Yes.
Would you say that's in the case here so far?
I'm going to say yes.
Okay. What, if any, are your concerns presently if the kids were to be placed with their grandmothers?
I'm unsure about their past, so at the time being, the concerns would be only anything that could stop them per policy of taking the children.
So, in a nutshell, we just don't have enough information at this point.
Correct.
Does the parent's refusal or reluctance in your case to allow access to the kids concern you?
Yes.
Do you know of a good reason for that having happened?
I do not.
Did you know the grandmothers were coming to Texas from California?
Yes, after the first initial court hearing.
Have they ever asked for my information, contact information?
No.
I'll pass witness.
All right, thank you. Back to you, Ms. Adams.
Just very briefly, did you know that both of these grandmothers were coming to Texas?
No, I did not know about both grandparents coming.
Okay. And were both grandparents in contact with you?
No, only one, Loreno Castro.
Pass witness.
Mr. Collison, do you know how long the grandmothers are in Texas?
I do not, Your Honor.
Judge, they stated in the breakout room they're leaving today.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Collison, you were given the name of another grandmother who lives here in the state, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And she would be the paternal grandmother of whom?
The maternal grandmother.
Okay, the maternal grandmother of all of the children. Okay, and have you done a background check on her?
No, Your Honor.
Have you met with her, talked with her?
Briefly, Your Honor.
Do we know?
Watching the children during one day.
Okay, is she here today? Do we know?
I do not, Your Honor. I do not see her present.
And has she told you that she's willing and able to take any or all of the children?
She has not, Your Honor.
Has she told you she couldn't?
No, Your Honor.
Judge,
Ms. Iverson, are you aware of anyone that's visited with the maternal grandmother?
Your Honor, I've gotten so little information that I don't have anything. Everything I'm getting is just from the department. Even that's been limited because they have had little access.
Judge,
Mr. McNeely?
as an officer of the court, I have some information in that regard.
On the maternal grandmother?
Yes, sir.
And what is that?
I met her personally. She says she's very sick and she's dying. And she cannot take the children, and that is why she has not been involved in the process. And she did look sick, and she's about 5 foot tall and probably weighs about 90 pounds. I didn't ask her what her illness was.
Okay, and so this is
This is Allie Wilson's mother.
All right, and that's whom you're talking about, Mr. Collison?
Yes, Your Honor.
And she lives in Baytown, Judge.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. McNeely. All right, bear with me, please. The ex parte hearing on the department's petition for removal and affidavit in support thereof. The court finds that there is sufficient evidence showing that reasonable efforts have been made by the department consistent with the time and the circumstances. The department has made reasonable efforts to prevent or eliminate the need of removal of the children, but at this time, it is contrary to their welfare to remain in the care and custody of the parents. The court notes that the department has been working with this family, these parents, since December of 2023. The court further finds that there is an immediate danger to the physical health or safety of the children. Further, that there is no time consistent with the physical health or safety of the children for full adversary hearing. that reasonable efforts have been made with the circumstances in providing for the safety of the children. The court notes that in addition to the reasonable efforts made by the department, that there are ongoing outstanding drug use concerns, that the parents have disobeyed a court order for urinalyses, an order that was agreed to, that the parents have obstructed the investigation, the children have not been in school, and that they have been in an unhealthy and unstable living conditions. The court names the department as the temporary managing conservator of the children. The court notes that neither a so-called kick-out order or a parental child safety placement would be possible or protective at this time. The court is going to continue the appointment of Ms. Iverson for the children. I will also hereby appoint CASA as the guardian ad litem of the children. I will continue Ms. Trousdale and Mr. McNeely's appointments to the mother and the father, Ms. Wilson, Mr. Castro, respectively, this time pursuant to Texas Family Code 107.0141. I would ask that Ms. Trousdale and Mr. McNeely, that you will facilitate any claims of indigence that your clients have by way of an affidavit of indigence, and get that filed with the court, and copy the court coordinator, Ms. Wallingford, please. The court hereby sets the full adversary for April the 1st at 9 a.m. That will be in person in Anahuac, and the courtroom in which the full adversary will be held will be determined shortly, though not likely before we adjourn today. Now, the court further orders that Mr. Cullison, if one or both of the grandmothers can pass the threshold background checks and are willing and able to remain in the state until the adversary hearing, and to care for the children, to not allow the parents to have any unpermitted access to the children, then the children may be placed with them. I don't know that that is possible, but if those conditions are met, then the children are to be placed with one or both Ms. Lorena Castro and or Ms. Jonna Wilson. So again, they would have to pass the threshold background checks. They would have to be protective, not allow any access of the parents. They would need to remain in the area until the full adversary. All right, anything else from anyone else?
We would go ahead and ask that a home study be done. For the two older children with Ms.
I would request that as well.
Donna Wilson, and with Ms. Castro, Lorraine Castro, with regards to the baby.
And I'd request that those be expedited.
All right, so those would be, my understanding is both of those grandmothers live in the state of California, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so any objections, Ms. Adams, to my ordering expedited ICPCs of those grandmothers for?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so the two oldest children and Ms. Wilson, and the youngest with Ms. Castro. So I will so order the expedited ICPCs.
I do have a clarification error. I thought the two older children had different fathers. Which, I mean, if it's fictive kin, that's fine. I just want to make sure that we have all the paperwork correct.
It is. They've lived with her before and gone to school with her there before.
So okay, biological grandmother to one and fictive kin of the other.
That's my understanding, I believe.
Okay.
She's present. Both grandparents are present today.
Okay. But
Water.
not the biological paternal grandmother of the oldest child, SP, correct? She's not present.
Correct. I believe it's grandmother for sure.
And that's Jonna Wilson.
Yes, sir. Sorry, yes, sir.
I'm trying to get my phone to unmute. Yes. Diane has been my step granddaughter. I have claimed her in my heart since she was 3 years old.
All right, so the court will, thank you. The court will again order expedited home studies, ICPCs rather, of CW and SP as to Jonna Wilson and the youngest child, EC, expedited ICPC on Lorena Castro. Okay, now
What they need to stay here.
so I will inquire this once again at the hearing on the 1st. But is anyone aware of any Native American or Alaskan membership or heritage?
Native American.
Native American heritage or membership?
No.
And that question was for both parents and both grandmothers and actually everyone.
No.
Right. Okay, so Ms. Adams, I will sign those orders shortly. Mom and Dad, the department CPS now has emergency temporary managing conservatorship and custody of the children. So you are ordered to not leave with the children and to deliver the children to Mr. Collison. Mr. Collison to make arrangements to go pick up the children at this point.
Is there a way that we can ask a question? No.
All right, Mr. Collison, you have everyone in that room's contact information, correct?
I just have Lorena Castro's. I don't have Jonna Wilson's.
Okay, well, you know where the children are right now. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right, so I'm ordering the parents to remain there with the children. And Mr. Collison, about how long will it take you or your associate to go pick up the children?
Hopefully within an hour, Your Honor.
All right, and again, let's go ahead and do the background checks for any grandmother who's willing to stay here and abide by the court orders. Okay. I don't know if you were able to hear that, but
Yeah, Judge, would you confirm that again? I don't make sure I understood. They can do background checks on these grandmothers, and if one of the grandmothers is willing to stay with the children, they can do that until the hearing on April 1st.
that's correct. One or both of them, if they're willing to stay here in the area until the adversary hearing, and that they would not allow any unpermitted access of the children to the parents and vice versa.
Judge, this is Ms. Garzoria, the supervisor. May I say something?
You may ask.
I may ask, yes. The only issue with that is that we're only able to check here in Texas. Those are our rapid results that come back. The out-of-state ones or FBI ones, those they're like FBI fingerprintings, and those they don't happen like in a day.
Okay, well,
Like not even close.
well,
It's
I
not
don't.
gonna be very lengthy. Sorry, Judge, I mean to interrupt again.
No, that's fine. I would require, I don't know how long they've been in California, all of their lives or just the past few years. I don't know. So I don't know if there's any history potentially here in Texas at all. But I'm going to require, that there be no bars. So if you can't do that, if you can't get that information from out of state in time. Now, if there is, as kind of a caveat or an exception, if there is, after interviewing them, if there is an agreement across the board with the department, with Ms. Iverson, to place, notwithstanding, with one of these grandmothers or both of them, until the full adversary could be had, then you may do that. But that would need to be across the board agreement.
And Judge, I think the grandma told us that they have background checks from work. So if they've been done in less than a year, that may be information we can make available to the department.
Could be, yes, could be. But that would require an across the board agreement, as it were. Okay. All right. With that, I thank you all very much. Ms. Adams, do I deem the motion to participate passed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Very good. So again, we will see Mom and Dad, everyone in person for a full adversary hearing to determine going forward if the department should continue as the temporary managing conservator of the children, that hearing being April the 1st, again, in person, courtroom to be announced at 9 a.m., April 1st. Okay?
Judge, I have a question.
Quickly.
Mrs. Wallifer sent out a list for the whole year of courtrooms. Has that changed?
I don't know that it has. I don't know that it has.
Well, we have a list.
Okay, what does the list say? What does the list say for the April 1st setting?
I don't know that I can get it right quick. Let's see. If you can bear with a second. Well, the list says April 4th. In the county courtroom. So
yeah,
there's not an April 1st.
Well, I'll be listening to Ms. Adams talk on April 4th. That's why that was changed, probably in Dallas, right? I'll see all of you all at the Advanced Child Welfare Conference. So
I guess April 1st, and then you'll have to Ms. Wallenfer let us know where.
That will be determined and will be communicated to you all shortly. Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
Thank you. With that, if there's not anything else, then we will stand adjourned. Everyone, take care, please. And again, we'll see you April the 1st at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Judge.